101 here to figure out that he's been doing this for a long time, and he knows what he's doing, obviously. Every time, if you live close to any Nebraska TV stations, and you, it's late November, and you turn on the Nebraska championship games, you're probably going to see his guys running around out there in those bright gold helmets. So Coach spoke here last year, that very day, invited him back. I've known Coach Mick for a long time. So he was somebody that as soon as we set up this kind of clinic, he was somebody that was on the top of my list to contact because of the type of stuff they do. And it's a little bit of that old, we are going to do what we do and make teams adjust to us, as opposed to worry about, what do we need to change, what do we need to adjust. So Coach Mick, go ahead.
Right, appreciate it. Thanks for the introduction. We are a little lower class school in Nebraska. We've been running the Wing T for 26 years, a lot of success. We bounce between C1 and C2. C2 is 100 kids, 170 kids in high school, and C1 is 170, 300 kids. And we won 3 championships in C1 and 4 in C2. And we won Fairmount. We've been runner-up twice, been to 13 semifinals, and we ranked third or higher 16 times. So last year, the team that beat us won C1. Norfolk Cali beat us 21-17 last minute. We had 2 more first downs. They had 3 more yards. They have 2 divisional guys who have been offered already that are juniors, and they're our size. We're going down to C2. They got a second game, and they will break our school record of points we've given up. They will kick our ass this year. They've got a kid who offered Nebraska, a kid who's offered Minnesota, and they have 2 kids who are probably going to offer South Dakota State. So this is a school with 150 kids in high school. They have 2 Division I's, and they have 2 Division II's. That's pretty good. We outplayed them. Our line was great. We could play with them, but next year we graduate a whole bunch, and end of the year we'll have to get them end of the year if we get to the playoffs. We're going to be tough. So,
Great. Go ahead and hit present up there, Coach, in the upper right corner.
Upper right corner.
A little bit down, a little bit down, right.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Now you can right click and you'll.
Oops.
Right click. There you
Right
go.
click there. Just a few things. I'll try to get through this quick. I've coached a long time. I'm the oldest guy at clinics now, which is good. I used to respect guys when I was 30 years old, the old guys. You still learn. I love learning. I'm the head football coach. I'm the head track coach. I run the weight room. I'm the athletic director, and I teach 5 classes, and that really has been a blessing. I do not know. The Newton guy was up here. Great sequential football. I love it. We're probably going a little more gun this year. We do a little bit of gun, but not much. It's kept me fresh. I love doing what I do because I'm not burned out on football, because I do so many other things. And I don't know them very well, but I really keeps me fresh. And just a few things from an old coach. You never know it all. Record what you learn, make changes. I used to early in my career, I still go back to books I read 30 years ago. Oh, I read this, and I got little notes on it. Take your practice plans for your young coaches, write red on it the day after, and then the next year I used to go back, what do I need to improve on? And I have a voice recorder with me all the time, and I use it a lot. I can't lost right now. Track has started, so I'm in trouble. I have to write notes to myself. Leadership is modeled. We got beat this year, the 9th game of the year. We were number 1. We should not have been ranked number 1 in the season. We beat Norfolk Cali the year before, 35-27. They're the one that beat us this year, 21-17. Because I knew that they were young. They were a year younger than us, and they would get to be really good. But they blocked the punt, and I got pissed because I do the punt team, of course. And I get rattled for about 6-7 minutes, and we're down 21-0. Well, it was 27-13 to a really good football team. So sometimes I still lose at my old age. I have to kind of watch, build a culture. What are your values? What do you expect out of kids every day? Our kids better not be late to practice. They're going to give an effort. And, our kids trust us. We've had so much success, it's easy. When you don't have as much success, it is harder. It is harder. Leadership is needed daily, et cetera, et cetera. Tenor and tone of practice, that's where I do a lot. Coach Tony Smith's not here. He's our defensive coach. He's the yeller and the screamer and the guy who gets on him. I'm the guy that kind of, okay, Mister. I will get on kids now and then. They remember when I do, but never. Football's a numbers game. Give kids opportunities. Who knows, even at the small school or the big school, what that little freshman 5'5", 120-pounder might be. A 5'11", 165-pounder as a senior can run a 4'8", and can play football somewhere for you. It might not be your stud, but he can play somewhere. And we play a lot of kids. We play a lot. We'll play. This year's going to be a little more challenge. We only have 8 juniors, 8 seniors. We have really small senior boys, junior, senior class. We have a big sophomore class, so it'll be kind of interesting. In track, I walked around we have 60 boys out for track, and the other 10 are all out as spring trainers. They run our sprinter program. It's not mandatory, but they know it is. And I try to talk to every kid every 2 days in their lives. I don't care if the kid's a little 5-foot kid does play football. You just make them feel they're important. I remember when I was that age, coach taught me, hey, I'm important. I wasn't. I was just a farm boy. It's the only guy who milked cows in high school. Everything is team first. I do not suffer prima donnas well. An old priest who was our superintendent, he told me, you don't suffer prima donnas very well. Nope, team's number one. I just don't. And then they do, when you're good kids, your best players are your hard workers. You know, they don't have to be your hardest workers, but they have to be hard workers. When they're hard workers, it eliminates your problems. They're going to be on the field for you. You know, we're all going to put our best kids on the field. If they're hard workers, then they, do not get bored with the details. You need to know footwork is really, really important. We're still more traditional wing team. We run a little bit of option. They are the difference most of the time. But don't get lost in detail either. You need to be expensive, because I watched that first presentation day, and boy, I like the way they do that on that. I just went, hey God, I like to run. We call it pitch. It's called rocket. That's a nice way to do it. And then he's talking about footwork. That's details, and then you do it over and over and over, and you get better at it. The less you do, the better you have to be with it. If you run 2 series or 3 series on offense, or just 2 series, you have to be better at what you do. And just what you saw at the Newton Clinic, they had the pitch, they had the quarterback G, they had a counter off of it, and they had 4 verts of fashion. That's a great series. When I first went to the wing team, we ran trap, sweep, cross, boot, and that was 70 to 85, 75% of our plays. And that was it. Now we're a little more expensive. Get good at doing that, then you all of a sudden, what do they do when you do this? What do you do when you do this? You start knowing what they're doing. You start getting a player or 2 ahead of them. If you keep changing every year, it's tough. You get, there we go. Build your offense, then coach it. The longer you run a system, the easier it is to adjust, correct, and build around. Okay, I had coaches who don't agree with this. I had a college coach who loves this. We don't ever do this at the end of the year. We take our total number of offensive yards and divide by the points we score during the year. 300 yards, you score 20 points. It takes 15 offensive yards to score a point. Okay, our average this year, we took 10.4 yards for every point we scored. Our opponents were 18.4. It was a little bit low because we had a punt return on us this year and a reception return the same year. In that game, we got our ass kicked the first 12 or 13 minutes. And usually it's not that high. We haven't had a reception return or punt return in years against us, but they had a really good kid that could do that. In a 7-year average, we averaged 9 yards for every offensive point. Our opponents averaged 20. Well, they're going to say, well, defense is included in that. Kick teams are included in that. Turnovers are included in that. Yes, that determines the final score. We don't have too many young coaches in here. Some young coaches are really interested. Boy, we had 547 yards of offense. Boy, we really smoked. We got beat 48-39. Yeah. I'd rather win 14-0, 14-13 than get beat 48-39. You try to stop the opponent too. And our offense is very risk averse. We don't have many turnovers, which should be the next one. We only had 1 negative year, 2002. And that was, we changed defenses. We changed our fronts. Okay, these are just our 10 goals. Don't give the ball. 1 year, 2004, we gave up the ball on our side of the 50-yard line 1 time on a bad punt. Never, on a turnover, nothing. They never got it. They never got it. And that's really, if you have to drive 50, 60 yards and they got to drive 80, that's a big, big advantage. So look at offense in its totality. How does it tie into your defense? Are you putting up, we're small kids. Our kids play both ways. We rotate a lot of kids both ways, but they both play both ways. No play over 25, gain 3 turnovers, no block kicks, etc. Okay, and this is our turnovers the last 25 years. Only 1 year that we had more turnovers in 92 when we went to the wing team in 2008. We had 13 turnovers, our opponents 25. One is we're a little quicker than our opponents probably, and we're a little better, so they have more turnovers. They're trying to catch up. But our average in the last 7 years has been 1 to 2.6, and 25 years is 1.4 to 2.6. So that's an advantage to us. That's an advantage to us. But that ties a little bit into that we're not too expansive on offense. This year we threw 5 touchdown passes. You'll see our quarterback throw, you know why. Great, tough kid. And we threw 4 interceptions. Our opponents were 5-19. Over, I don't know, 25 years it's been tremendous. I think that was 7 years, 60-31 or 40-48. Usually we're not playing from behind. We average 9 passes a game, 6 completions, that's an old stat. Our opponents were 5-14, we were not, etc. We throw a lot more touchdown passes than our opponents, and we throw a lot less. That's because we run the ball well. Okay, in terms of just, I'll get into the G's here and a little bit stuff, pitch. Limit your offense to several series. Coach said he runs his pitch series at 60% of his offense or so. Have something you're good at. Have something you're good at. It can be the zone, it can be this, it can be that. It can be the midline option. Have something you're good at. I know TJ runs the tight wing and they run the power pitch a lot. Okay, that might be 30%, I'm not sure, 30-40% of the plays, but at least then you can base your offense off the rest. Then you force the defense to stop you. Now, we've got a year where we only ran 2 formations. Slot wing, split end right, double wing with a split end right, and the other way, left. We know what the defense is gonna line up every single play. We know what they're gonna do. Even though I do like the gun, we got a nice quarterback coming who will be a sophomore this year. We want to use him a little more, put him backfield, you can take that extra back and manipulate the edges of the formations with is another way to do it. I'm not quite sure I'm going to marry that together. We can't be too complex because I'm not very smart. I'm sure I have some high school teachers that, God, that guy's a teacher. I do think that. Take advantage of defensive adjustments, pre-snap with formations, post-snap with defensive reactions. We do some formation, we do unbalance and stuff. We do a few heavy sets. Are you within the talent level of your kids? This, I think, is really big. Year-to-year fundamental development. 1997, we won a state championship. It was a bit of a surprise. We had one real good fullback, and we didn't know it. Then we had these halfbacks who weren't too bad. We had this big bunch of dumpy linemen, and we were throwing the ball the first 2 games. We were winning team. We threw 15, 16 times a game. Then one quarterback went down with a spleen. He almost died. His brother found him in the shower that night. He had a ruptured spleen. He couldn't play for another 6-7 weeks. The other quarterback had too many nerves on his heart. He had a heart monitor on the next week. We're going to play Omaha Scott. They weren't quite what they are now. And we were C1 and they were B. And we don't know what we're going to do. We were throwing the ball 15, 16 times. We quit throwing the ball and we won a state championship. We threw the ball about 1 time a game the rest of the year. We threw it once in the state championship. We threw it once in the semifinals. We're playing Auburn. They got a kid plays the NFL for about 8 years, Kelsey kid. And we threw the ball 1 time. And the coach teased me about a month ago. God, we rolled coverage on you 1 time and you hit that split end. God, that was a great call. Great automatic on the line. No, it was just, that's 1 pass he caught all year. He never caught another pass. And we caught him and they rolled the defense up. But we could run what we did. We just ran our offense. We had really good running backs. And so what happens the next year, we throw the ball about 15 times the last 10 games. We tried to throw the ball early in the year. We were terrible at it. We could not throw the ball. We couldn't protect. Because we didn't throw the ball the year before. Once you start doing something and you have 3 to 4 years doing it, if it's down block, if it's kick block, whatever it is, the kids get better and better and better at it, and all of a sudden it adds up. And it makes your offense go. It changes all the time. I don't have too many things that are original. This is mine though. Over 3 years, you sit down, you coach 35 years, you start thinking about things. Fundamentals build your plays. You got to run a play. You got to do things fundamentally sound to do that play well. If you're going to run the buck sweep, you got to down block. Got to learn that your halfback's got to know he's got to seal the linebacker. He's not going down. Your guard's got to go on this path. Your other guard's got to wrap. Your halfback's got to plant and go. But they got to do those fundamentals well to make that play good. There's a lot of plays in football are technique oriented, and most of them are, or should be. And then eventually your fundamentals build a play. Then your play, you build a series with those plays. You build a series with those fundamentals. Such as you saw the pitch, you saw the quarterback G, you saw the counter. Okay. And that, those fundamentals make those plays. That makes a series. One good series of football should be half your offense. I think half your offense should be off one good series. One good series. And then your series build your strategy. They're overplaying us, we're going to cut here. They're going through here, we're going to go back here. They're going to come up, we're going to throw deep. And your series bring victory help to bring victory if the talent is close. If every one of us is going to go in the year where somebody's going to have more talent. We've had 1 year. No, we've never had. Yeah, we've had a year where no one was. A couple years where we won our class, where we should have won our class. I mean, we were just better. We had better talent. A couple years we won it because we just played better and we didn't make mistakes. But usually we have somebody on our schedule that's better than us. We play SCOTUS as a rival. They're about twice our size. We always play them every year. Now this year. Norfolk Catholic, that school's got all those good kids, and he does a great job. Coach Ed Beller's a really good coach. He puts the kids in the right spot, and they play hard, and they play physical. They're coming down with us. We played them second game of the year. I knew we were going to get them. The state sets our schedules. So we play SCOTUS, our rival, the first game. We barely beat them last year on a field goal. We didn't play very. 17-16. Then we play 13-0, 10-1, 8-2, and 12-1 the next 4 games. I knew we were going to get that, but golly gee, this is going to be a tough one. It's going to be tough. We're young. We'll be okay at the end of the year. They got to play us too, I guess, which is the difference. Okay, our practice plan. Look at how's your offense going to fit in your practice plan? This is what we do. The black is what we do during the seasons, 2.5 hours. Playoffs, we cut off 15 minutes. Offense, it's what we do. Some teams go defensive emphasis one day, offensive emphasis one day with a little bit of the opposite of the other. We don't. This is how we practice. We practice like this for years. And we're comfortable with it, so our kids are real comfortable with it. Okay, that's our main formation there. These are things we can do with it. We go double tight end, double split end, we go flex split end, we bring the split end in a little bit. Halfbacks in motion, but for the most part, we have a tight end and a bit of a flex end, split end. We go on sound, we go quick motion to backfield, we go long motion across a little bit, not a whole lot this year, maybe a little more. When you go motion, you gotta have some kind of motion, you gotta have key breakers. You know, it can be your plays, can be your counters, can be your boots, can be your stuff. You gotta have key breakers, or you can actually, you know, like you'll see some of those flexible teams that go back, and then they'll go back with the guy motion away. So once you go motion, people have to stop you. They have to stop that motion, especially if you out leverage them, out flank them. They're going to have to overcommit to doing it, then you have to have an answer to that. One thing we did this year against Norfolk Catholic, those, they're huge, they were big. And we had a nice size line for us. We had 220, 220, 210, 215, 195. We had a nice size line because we're usually not very big there. We had short stock for kids. Fits are what we do really well. It does make our basketball very easy at Aquinas, but it does well what we do in football. And we had a lot of linemen this year, so a lot of times we went 7 offensive linemen, we took our tight ends out. We took 7 offensive linemen and blocked. We threw the ball to that formation too, you know, it'll be on film. And now you can't throw them, you know, they got blocked, but obviously. We'll do unbalance with the split end over, we'll also unbalance with the tackle over, leave the tight end on the backside. When we get a team that's really complex defensively, and they'll try to play man-to-man over field, we'll just move all over the place and we'll run a base plays. One year we had a team that would do it 2 years in a row. It was 6-0 their head after a quarter, and it's 28-6 now. We did 4 play action passes on them. They didn't know where our tight end was at. One time they had a guy, where's the tight end? Oh, this ain't the tight end. So he goes running over here, and we run G because we bring the tackle down and run 65 yards. There's nobody even close to the guy. So you get a little too complex on defense, we're gonna make our formations look funny, but we're still gonna run the same stuff. Okay. Pitch series, which coach called the Rocket. It's an outside-inside series. You're going to threaten the outside and you got to come back inside. The red is where the back can go. We don't have very, even though I've been looking at 2 or 3 different ways to block this play better, and I really like how coach did it. And because I'm going to look at that, I saw one at the 2 others, I like it a little bit. This is what we do. You step, you go here, you just work your ass off and block the next man outside. That's it. You just go, you block the next man outside, you get on your horse. I do like how you pull and you put guys in a certain area. Our kids, we have to run enough of practice so they just don't pass a guy up. And our fullback goes play side. A lot of flexible teams, they go backside. He goes play side. And that's it. We just run it left. We've gotten pretty good. We run it to the tight end side. For us, the key is from under center, the ball's got to be pitched into C gap. The ball's got to, you know where C gap is there. The ball's got to be pitched in C gap because then you out leverage the defense and they have to adjust to you. We do run a little bit F pitch, fullback. When people are starting to roll their motion too much, we'll run a little F pitch. We may go a heavy formation, or we may just pitch it to them. But we know we can get the guys a little bit and get another 6-7 yards. Depends on your fullback. Now the fullback we had coming was our best player last year as a sophomore, was our most exposed player. He got hurt the 3rd game here, didn't play again. So he's a guy that could, but we want to take some of the carries off him though. He's not very durable. Him and his brother both were starting linebackers. They both got hurt and finished the year for us. He was older brother than him, and their older brother beyond him was an all-stater as a junior, got hurt the 7th play of a senior year. So they've had 3 boys in family. 2 have had knee blowouts, 1 2 years in a row, and the other one the sophomore broke his leg. They just don't have very good luck, and they squat well, and they lunge well, and they do agility drills well, and they run track well, and I don't know. Then their dad was an all-state football player. He blew out his knee senior year, about 10th game. I don't know. They think they have bad luck. Well, they do. They do. They just, you know, that's true. The 3 brothers. The sophomore would probably be an all-stater too. The middle one wasn't. He wasn't quite as good, but they all were. That's what we do. That's our pitch. Quarterback opens, reverse pivots, pitches really wide. He's got to catch the ball, get it, and we tell our halfback it's not quite as, you know, and that's why I do have a pile stack of about 8 or 10 pages of notes on the pitch, how to run it better. Is once you're out here and the defense has you outflanked, you cut up. Press it to the sideline, press to the sideline, press to the sideline. Once the defense has your edge and you can't beat them anymore, just cut up and get yards. That's what it is. It's you know, it's just another way to run pitch. You It's best at the tight end side for us. We do a little better. I'll show you the film. I'll show all the plays I got from Norfolk Catholic, a team that was really good. And then we run a little bit of belly on it. We'd run belly in that game against Norfolk Catholic, and we'd practice it. It's a play we don't practice a lot because we never get very good at it. And we might not get very good at it because we don't practice it a lot. I give up. We should have ran that instead of G. We might have been able to win the game. I'm not sure. So that's where I think. Then we have our fullback G. I do like the quarterback. As I said, we have a little quarterback coming that high jumps 6 foot 4 times in 8th grade. He's a freshman this year. He's kind of not a very big kid. 160 throws the ball. He throws the ball much better than what we had. And we'll be able to throw the ball a little bit. And I do like the quarterback G though. I like that off that. We haven't done it yet. But we do run a lot of G and we're pretty good at G. All G is a short trap. Short trap. It's a nice play. Then we run some counter off of a 2. We tried to run it. It's that Piper kid that's going to Nebraska. He was offered by Iowa. They call him a 3-star. I think he's a 4-star. He threw the shot 56 feet as a sophomore. Started basketball for him, and he ran down one of our halfbacks. Not a real fast halfback, but he ran him down. Then he ran him down, and that cost us them. That was the state championship game there. Then, you run your pitch, you run your G, you run belly, you run counter off, but then you gotta have pass play. I think you gotta have pass play at action. So if you're going this way with it, I think, because you're gonna get front side, you gotta have action, you gotta have a pass play at that action. Then if they're rotating back with you or into you hard, but they don't give you the deep pass here, you gotta be able to go backside on them too. And those are just things we do, This is the roll we call rolls, but that's at action, and we'll put, the key there is, usually it's not quite that easy, and then there's off a G. This is, I think, the way to run, one of the ways to run the wing. If you stretch all the time, yeah, you got to, but a lot of times when we run G, this is our pattern. You gotta go in and out. You gotta go in and out to get that corner to sink and come down and try to hit the seam here if it's a 3 deep, or if they roll up, or if they're here, he's gonna get there quicker against 2 because this guy will be a little wider. But I think that's key. Timing is key in your play action passes to when are you gonna get open. Okay, that deep guy, he's covered up, gonna hit the guy underneath then, or hopefully hit him. I know I'm going a little fast here. And then as you put all those squiggly lines together, that's what it looks like. It puts pressure on the defense. It puts pressure on the defense. The red is the pitch, the F is the green is the fullback, and the blue is the play action. The guys are going. I might talk a little fast with a little bad syntax, but Donald Trump does that too. Okay, you have to adjust their pass motion by the defense. They will slant to it. They'll run their linebackers fast to it. They'll run the cornerback up at it. The defensive end will widen with it. It all opens up your second play possibilities. Midline, we run some midline, boot, veer, key, key break G. We'll run motion this way and we'll just reverse pivot and run G back the other way. 5 times a year. We're running trap underneath a lot of times. We got motion there, Ben, and we just reverse pivot, open hand to our fullback and run the trap up, we'll split those linebackers. So that's another way to do it. Under center, it's a good way to do it. Okay. Okay, this is the, this is the pitch. Yeah, this isn't smart board, so I gotta do it on here.
You don't got all that money you private schools do.
We have a very good donor in the Lincoln Diocese. We had a salesman walk into our school one time. He got the first time. Boy, I feel like I'm in 1955 Catholic high school. We have nuns, 2-3 nuns. We got priests everywhere. We got 12 parishes. Really kind of Catholic area, and it's pretty conservative, which I like. There's no. We had one of our football players got in school the other day. He skipped band and went to the locker room. I can't believe that teacher caught him, but she did. If there's one teacher in our school who'll miss him, everybody's got a teacher in your school that's kind of lax. We got a brand new. We built a brand new gym, brand new locker rooms, 4 of them, and music rooms. We needed them really bad. About 6 years ago, it happened great. Corn price was $6 a bushel. Commercial building was down. We got a lot built really cheap. We couldn't even build my office anymore. My office is right in the middle of it though, between the music rooms, and I hear the music all the time. And every day is about 15 kids who tardy to her class, and every other teacher gives tardies, she doesn't. And then she didn't realize the little blonde-haired kid was gone, a little football player. He had to walk through the day in the office. He's got in-school suspension, and our kids get detention, which is once in a while our kids do. In-school suspension. This is their dinner. Oh. Instead, we have a nice cafeteria. They eat applesauce, white bread, peanut butter, and white milk. And that's really tough when we have like our Christmas dinner or something, and they have to miss our Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner, this is their dinner. We don't get too many kids in there, we get a few, he was in there. Pitch. I'm gonna just kind of go to tight end side here. We break down everything we do. All our plays are broken down by our position coaches, do a great job, they really do. We're over here, these two guys work in combo all the time. They work combo. Eventually, this guy knows when to let off and go to here. Sometimes it's right away. Everybody else just steps. Steps, these guys we try to get over here. They just step, pitches here, C gap, fullback, get out here, block the first off color jersey. You know, I think it's a little too easy. I think we could be better on it. I'm looking at changing how we block this play. Reach block, next man outside of you. Quarterback has to time up the motion. This takes a little time to where the ball has got to be pitched here or later. I'll stand here, and the ball's got to be pitched here. I mean, it can't be pitched back here, et cetera, et cetera. One key on this, and we've learned through the years, that you run the play up, this fullback's got to go here, then here. Because if he gets out here, the ball hit him in the butt on pitch. So when you run a play often enough, you figure out what screws that play up. That screws that play up. Halfback, press it to the sidelines. When the defense out-leverages you, just cut up. We run this play a lot early in the game. We want to see how they're going to rotate with us. We want to set them up, set them up, set them up. And some teams, if they can't stop it, we'll just run it. Just run it until you stop it. Or slow it down. You know, the last couple of years, we've been number 3 in it. We went up a class. A 3 years ago, we remember when we were probably the best team in 20 years in our class. We had no games. Every game was a 35-point game run clock in our class, every game. The state championship game was not, it got to, but then they scored late to keep the game under. The only team that beat us was SCOTUS, the class above us, did beat us 10-7 in a great football game. They were state champions in the class above us. We had 2 quick halfbacks. One scored a state 100, the other guy was quick. And then this year, last 2 years, our halfbacks were not as good. Tough kids. We still were number 3 in the class. Both years the state champion. 2 years ago beat us on a play in the end zone where they did not catch the ball. It was on huddle highlight, one of the best top plays huddle all year. 6'4" kid went up like this, caught the ball. We pushed him out of bounds. His feet went faster than his head, flipped over, out of bounds. Referee calls touchdown. Our physics teachers the next Monday says, Mimic, you should have protested because there is no way physically that kid ever touched the ground. He was about that far from the ground, and he didn't because he got tipped over and his feet landed out of bounds before his head did. And we pushed him. But it was 3rd down. They might have scored on 4th down. Then this year, Norfolk Catholic beat us in the last minute. We had to run down to the 4-yard line, got called back on the sideline. Was he out of bounds? Nobody thought he was out of bounds. The TV guys were there, just about there. He's not out of bounds. Runs by Norfolk Catholic. Norfolk Catholic kids are watching. Nobody's going. He's out. They just go. Okay, he's running down the sidelines. Referee goes, who's behind the play? You'll see on film about 5 guys here, and he calls them out of bounds, and we lose the game. We'd have scored there. We'd have won the game. He's down to the 3-yard line. We would have won the game because we had them on their heels. Then they rally. They scored the next drive. That's how that is. I'm going too fast here. Oh, this is G. G is a simple play. It really is. The way we run it. This block here, we work on this guy's footwork all the time. We work on these guys' footwork. Gap down backer, gap down backer. This guy gets down here. Boom. Against Norfolk Catholic, they played us really tight here. Eventually, we had to run G bounce. Down, down, then this guy leads up. They really, the year before, we ran for about 350 yards on them. They were good, but we ran on them. They were not ready for our G and our pitch. They had not played us for years. And when they played us next year, they did a really nice job of slowing it down. They slowed us down. We still got yards, but it wasn't as good. And again, they were better too. So this guy's really key. Eventually, you want to seal above the hole. This guard here must take it inside out path, flat, flat, flat. This guy's got to seal. Your halfback's got to put his hands up and fake. He's got to fake. He's got to fake to pull him out. If we see a 5-3, you know, it's really nice because the end will widen. Then your fullback, pass right there, reverse pivot, and just get after it, get north-south. You know, those are really simple plays where we rep them a bunch. You know, we have the buck sweep series in this series, or our main series, we run a little bit of option, which is just quarterback, fullback. So, and I'm not going to show it against this. I want to get to the plays. Okay, that's it. I'm going to go to the plays here, and I think that'll be, I know I'm going a little quick, but I know we're behind schedule too, and I know you guys want to eat. Okay, make it big. This is Norfolk Catholic. They have, this kid here is 71. He's really good. I think he's going to be a good Power 5 lineman. He's really good. One of their cornerbacks is the fastest kid in the state of Nebraska. He's won all-class gold medal. He runs 10-7 electronic. He's their tailback. Those two, one's got offered Minnesota, the other guy's accepted Nebraska, turned down Iowa. And then their second tailback was an all-stater as a sophomore in Illinois. Come over and he's sitting behind this guy, can't play a lot. He plays, he's a good football player. And he rushed for 1,600 yards on he was starter as a freshman on a state championship team, was all-stater as a sophomore, and he can't start from this year. He didn't start from this year. Then they have another lineman that's probably gonna be a South Dakota type guy. So let me see here, let me get my notes. I know what these plays are actually. Where did I put all that at? That's what this is right here. Okay, first play will be pitch to tight end. We do go a little unbalanced. We do adjust. Our fullback gets out front of the play. Our fullback is right here, number 47. And that's just short side pitch. And you know, we don't get a lot of yards, we get 4 to 5 yards. But this team shut out the other 3 teams in the playoff. They won a state championship game 35-0. They're good. I mean, they're good defensively. They play very simple, it's a 4-4. They play catch your blocks, we know that. They're gonna just run with you, they have good athletes and does a great job. And just simple play, I think that's, you know, we got just a mass of bodies, they're gonna get 4 to 5 yards. The next play will be out of a flex for me. This is a bootleg. This is off the pitch action, we can stop it. Okay, you can run that back.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'll set it up here a little bit. Sometimes you learn, we put a double call with our fullback. I know it's used another name in football, but this kid, he needs help a little bit. He's a great kid, a state champion wrestler as a junior, he's 160, he's a 160 pounder, fullback. We don't fake this pitch very well, but it is fake pitch. We make another call, which means he slips through B gap. We knew that they play their linebackers deep. They're outside, we want to get their outside linebackers up on us, because if he tried to slide in front of the outside linebacker, he would take him. And then this is that Piper kid would slide outside on us. So we put him inside so we could get him, there's a chance to get out, because we knew by slipping him inside, this guy would go here, and these guys have to play back against us. The way we're gonna pitch, they play back anyway. He's gonna go here, we're gonna try to hit either this guy on a corner route, or this guy right here. This is off fake pitch action, and we make 6-7 yards on it. He was 4 for 4 this game throwing. You can tell he struggles a little bit. You know, if he made a little better pass, we made another 4 or 5 yards. Okay, the next play is, we stop it. This is when motion is now, this isn't G, this isn't counter, this isn't boot, this isn't roll pass. This is just midline, midline go. We call it goat. Go at them. Go means midline for us. Now, they have an A gap. They have an A gap player, so this is an automatic pull. So we automatic pull, we give our fullback the thing. He's just gonna pull, he's gonna get up in there. He's gonna get only about 3 yards. The center should have got to the backside linebacker, but the defense starts to move a little bit with our action. It's gonna fake right here. Normally we would read this, and we do read it. We do read it, and we work on it every day. We run it against the good teams. The teams that we have trouble running the football on, and we run against good teams. And this guy does not get far enough inside. The gap's a little too far inside to get this linebacker. But quarterback is 3 yards. So now we got 17 first downs this game. Boom, and he just goes, okay, I'm gonna get 4 yards. He's a 150-pound guy. He's not very big, kind of skinny, can't throw, but he was tough. He wanted to be quarterback. I throw better than him, I throw bad. But he gets in there, and we don't get that backside back, we got 3 yards. Now, we'll go to the next play. We were not explosive, our best running back got hurt early.
Who were you reading that last?
We were not reading, that was automatic, because they had an A-gap player. That's automatic pull for us, that's one of the few automatics we have. We will check this against teams. We'll try to check the wider player, we will run checks on the line of scrimmage. And when we run checks this last year, most years it's just the same play opposite. We're just looking where their technique is at or their numbers. We have very seldom ever seen an unbalanced defense, and you just don't anymore. When you have a balanced offense, they're gonna have a 2 deep, 7-man front, or a 3 deep, 8-man front. They're gonna have 4 guys on each side of the line of scrimmage. We have, in the past, saw some strong safety fronts, and we'd check with them if they had the right angles. This is roll pass. Now, we weren't explosive. These are good kids. This kid, he'll run a 23-second 200. This kid will run he'll long jump 19 feet. Again, we're not a big time level. This kid can't make anything on our track team. He can't make, but he's out. He's our manager. He carries our shot puts out to our thing. He just wants to be out. We have 60 kids out the track. We have 85 boys at school and 60 are out. It's kind of, and they go out. But he still wants to be part of it, because, hey coach, can I go to track meets? I know he wants to get out of school too. He says, I'll carry you. We carries the shot puts out to practice. That's not easy. Shot puts are heavy. We have linemen in right here. This is where we have linemen in. We have no eligible receivers online, but we've been hammering on them a little bit. This will be a roll pass, make about 8 yards. The wideout goes in and out, and the motion keeps this outside linebacker wide. Just the motion that we slip our, I think we slip our fullback through. So this is a roll pass, this is action, this is a play action pass at action. These fake gets his hands up, boom, we run another call, we slip our fullback in. That's a good pass for us this last year. Now he's coming up, we've got a kid who can wing it decent. Okay, that's good. These are close to the same drive. Now, could you stop it? Now this is, we've got them rolling. And we're running the ball pretty good on a football team, and they shut out the other 3 teams in the playoffs. We are gonna we're gonna fake the roll pass this way. Quarterback's gonna fake this way. And then our one receiver caught 20 of our 35 completions this year, sitting right here. He's gonna go backside, he's gonna go down to the 5-yard line with it. This was a big need play. We're up 7-0, we gotta get back in the ball game. You gotta have a couple of these in your offense. They over-rotate a little bit. And gets down to the 5-yard line. You know, you gotta, and we hadn't thrown this play all year. We were waiting for what we needed it. Okay. Now, we weren't real explosive. The game we lost in the regular season, 27-13, we had 19 first downs and 225 yards offense. We just could not, you know, we couldn't throw the ball downfield. We weren't very fast. They did a nice job with it. They played a 4-deep, rolling their safeties up, taking some of our stuff away. Okay. Well, the next play on the goal line, we do not, we can stop it. They're playing their base defense and goal line. We do not motion this one. Sometimes we'll go on sound. We'll run our G on sound. We run our G on sound. Just because, okay, I don't want you to roll into it. You know, it's going to be goal line defense on a short yardage. We'll go on sound watch because I know they're going to be coming at us, and we don't get in the way. This is just a tough play, about 4-yard touchdown run. This is, we run G enough that at the end we have all our linemen in the game. This is a nice big tackle that number 74 was our star tackle. He takes a pretty good football player. We just make a tough play in the end zone. Sometimes you just got to be tough. Okay, the next play will be we're going to pitch to our flex end here. This is their good kid. I don't know if he's in right now. They pull him off a bit, but we pitch to it. We get 7 to 8 yards. Our tackle does a really nice job blocking. Our tackle gets a reach block on their kid. Our halfback, I'm not sure what halfback, this is our biggest halfback, he's 160, he blocks an outside linebacker, he's not much bigger than him, probably 175. Blocks the one that our fullback gets a nice block on the perimeter here. We're different than we do bring our fullback to play side on this. Pitch should be the C gap, there it is. We get pretty good, the linebackers are, we have nobody assigned to him, sometimes I don't like that. Our fullback gets a pretty good play. Again, against these guys, that's a good play. Against these guys, good play. The next one is a G. We go back. This is where I should have belly in. We do run veer a little bit to the tight end side. And veer for us is a quarterback, fullback, zero. Because what they're doing now is they're squeezing it really tight here and they're playing their defensive end pretty wide. And he gets a seam and the linebacker gets him about 4 yards. If we'd had belly, it would have been a better play, but hopefully Huddle Silent allows me that. He gets 4 yards, it's not a lot. But for these guys, that was a good one. The next one is a no motion G again. I can't remember which way we're running. I think we're running it this way. I think we got all of our linemen in again. Again, we should have had this play. We should have ran veer or G to this side. We didn't. I didn't catch that. Boom, gets in there. Kid, you have a tough fullback. This help. He's a good tough kid. Okay, next one, we're going to pitch the defensive end. You're going to see on this play where the defensive flow really is doing a good job. We only get 2 to 3 yards. Again, we did have 17 first downs and I think we had 264 yards, they had 263. And they just played well, they're getting used to running pitch, and we're seeing it more and more. But we're doing a decent job blocking it, this is one of the reasons I want to look at this play to make it a little better play. Then a kid kind of rocks our running back at the end. I think he's going to get hit pretty good right here, yeah. Lower your shoulder, kid. Okay, this next one is G bounce, we call. This is where we're gonna down block their defensive end now, and we're gonna pull the guard around, and they're playing us tight at the off tackle, so we're gonna try to bounce our fullback wide. This is a nice play when people are expecting bounce. Our guard does not do a great job, but he does okay. Probably should have ran that out unbalanced. I ran long flat motion, but we didn't have that, you know, we didn't do long. Got a long flat motion, get that cornerback out. I wanna write that down. Long flat motion. We'll go G bounce. We'll be away, have to widen to get that cornerback out of there. Okay. Next play is pitch to split end. It's only 4 yards, but we have good halfback blocking and good split end blocking. You know, these guys are not real fast. This guy runs about a 5 flat. Our fullback gets out there, doesn't really get him, but you know, we got 4. And this game, 4 yards was good. This game was good.
But you got about 3-4 minutes here.
Okay, we're about done with this. Okay, next play is G. This one here, this halfback makes a mistake. He thinks it's bounce. We get a nice block here. He does not get this linebacker. He must have thought we were running bounce. We were not. He blocked the end, and we had nobody on linebacker. We only got 2 yards. Okay. Yeah. The next play is midline again. The linebacker slid a bit, but they could not come down real easy. This was a 4th and 1. This was a 4th and 1. Boy, they had a 380, 390 pounder middle of the line there. They were huge. You got to play about 10 plays a game on a situation like that. We got a first down. This was a touchdown drive for us. Okay, we're going to pitch next one to the field on this one. This is a really good kid. We do a great job blocking him. We got nice blocks at halfback, nice blocks at split end. We're going to get down the field and get about 8 yards. This is a long, tough drive against, and we do run some buck sweep. Buck sweep was decent this game because we get down their end. This is against a good football team. Fullback got a decent block. We got 4 yards out of that. Okay, next play is G on the goal line again. No, where's this one? Oh, pitch. Pitch, another pitch. Now we run that play. Nope, that's where their flow got to us. We weren't getting good enough. Oh yeah, we whiffed on our linebacker. The next play is, this is a midline again. And that was an automatic, got 6 yards. Okay, we have 3 plays left. Okay, this is pitch to the field. This will be, this is our best halfback. He's about 160 pound. So sure we get a nice block, get people rolling. Our fullback should get not a great block. We had 1 year we had 2 fullbacks rolling, both good football players. They went in competition, we had more blocks on this play. They just love running over people, but he's kind of a slidey, nice lid. Well, this play here, we're just gonna run trap off of motion. Linebackers move a little bit, and we get 6-7 yards. Now, it's not very fancy, it's kind of boring. It's what we do. This last play was the play that I think was a big determinant on the state. This is where we get called out of bounds. Referee's behind the play on the sideline where he should be. Boom. We're rolling. This is that Piper kid. That's that kid's going to Nebraska. That's that big kid there. He throws a shot 55 feet as a sophomore. He can run. And if he doesn't get called out, we score. 1 or 2 plays later, we'll score and we'll win the football game. We're up 17-14. We get stopped, we punt, they scored about a minute, beat us 21-17 in the next 2 games. Next game was kind of a battle, the last championship games 35 now, but they were just good. They're gonna be really good this year, and they will probably score school. We've never given over 40, 50 points a game in the school's history. We will probably send game of the year this year. They're gonna roll us, because they will, Jeff Bell, he knows that we're not afraid of him. He will have them ready to play us. He knows who he's gotta beat. And last year, that was their goal, we beat them the year, we knocked them out the year before, and that was their goal, and they beat us. They were a little bit better than we were. Thank you. I don't know if I went kind of fast. I don't know if you picked much up, but that's who we are. We just do it over and over. But we are probably going to get a little gun. I like what I've seen out of it. I'm studying it right now because I just like how you manipulate that back, but I also like that basketball pitch. It can work. It can work. But then, you know, we got to make sure our line blocking stays the same. If we go a little gun, our linebackers got to stay the same. We can't add or learn into those guys because your linemen got to play fast. They got to step. They got to play fast. That's it.
Thank you, Coach. All right, we got one more session.